Alright guys, so today I'm going to share a video with you of a Alumacraft Jet John build that we've recently done. This was for one of my good friends I've known for a while, and basically he kind of got passed down an Alumacraft boat, very similar to the Jet John that I have, almost identical. His is actually a little bit better of a boat than mine. It's a thicker hull and a little bit taller side, so it was a pretty good candidate to do this build with. With that being said, we got right into it. I took, this video is going to be pictures of the events as we're going through it, because I didn't want to, we had 40 hours plus in this build, so obviously that's a ton of footage. So I scaled it back and just took a lot of pictures, and I'm going to kind of talk through the pictures and explain exactly what we did in this build. Alright, so we get the boat in, and basically we've got a Yamaha 650 engine that we're going to be putting into it, and basically the first step is cutting the hull out. So we flip the boat upside down, and once the boat's upside down, we make our marks, get everything set up to cut, and we use an angle grinder and basically start to cut out the aluminum. You end up with a piece cut out about like this. This is the piece that was cut from the bottom of the boat. You can kind of see the shape of it. It's just thin aluminum. You can see the braces on this, and that's what we cut out. That's the part we removed, where now the jet drive is sitting in here like so. So once we got the hole cut out, it's super important to clean all the surface around it before you mate up the jet drive. So the next portion, basically, we got the jet drive, we got the John boat all cut out just so to set this Yamaha 650 bottom of the jet ski in, and we get it set in, test fit everything. We bolt, get all our bolts drilled. We actually bolted it all up with no sealer, and then took it back out, and then we got ready to install the sealer. So the sealer we used was this Quad Max Clear Max sealer. It is some pretty tough stuff. I won't read all the details about it, but it's UV resistant, 50% joint expansion, so it's got a lot of flex in it. This fast cures in 24 hours. It's got good adhesion properties in it, and it's also proven in wet conditions and wet applications. So this stuff right here, it's 13 bucks a tube at your local Home Depot or Lowe's, but man, it's some pretty bad stuff. It really has worked good for these applications on his boat. Once we got all the jet boat actually sealed in there, we moved on into decking it out. We're going to keep these boats inside, so we did not use pressure treated. If you plan on getting your boat wet quite a bit, it may be good to seal the wood or use pressure treated wood. There's a whole number of things you could do to help it out, basically just help it last longer. As you can see, we did not do that in this video. Very budget build on this one, which was awesome. This whole boat, I would say everything included, I'm gonna say less than $1,500 total. Incredible. Like, it's amazing that you can get something for $1,500 And that was a lot of work, but for 1,500 bucks, man, this has got you out on the water going all over the place. Shallow stuff, big water, small water, and these things are just awesome. So that was pretty cool to be able to get it done for that. But we started decking it out and basically framed up what we wanted out of standard 2x4s. Got some 3/4 plywood, which is pretty thick, kind of heavy, but we had it on hand, so we tried to repurpose anything we could. And we got all this plywood laid out on there and cut down, and then we have to, because you're adding carpet over it, you've got to cut the plywood basically a little bit too small. That way, once you lay the carpet over it and roll the edges, staple it from the bottom, you end up with enough room and your panels aren't jamming together and stuff. You don't want everything fitting snug like a car door, So we went through it, did all that, and started putting all the carpeting on. The next thing was the seats. I believe these seats came off of Amazon. I'm gonna say between $150 and $200 depending on which seats you get. They're nothing out of this world, but man, they're pretty comfortable. They're cheap, they bolt in from the bottom, and I mean, they're basically solid seats. I've got similar in my boat if y'all seen any of those videos, and they've worked out really well. I don't think they're like the toughest thing ever built. Mine have some wear on them already. Now I use my boat a ton, but they're showing some wear signs, but hey, it's a cheap seat. You get what you pay for, and they've lasted pretty good so far. But we got those seats. They've got 4 mounting holes in the bottom, and we slap those seats on there and use some brackets actually that he had left on his old seats, and we're able to bolt them up straight down to the plywood so they're nice and solid. So one thing that is not shown in the pictures that I'd like to touch on is the electronics, bilge pump, switch panels, basically all that stuff. Again, I know he got some of this stuff, bought a cheap panel off Amazon. It's a fused panel, works great. He's mounted the starter button in that panel, going to a relay that starts the engine. Worked out super good. I'm trying to think of what all else that basically was done. The bilge pump, we robbed a bilge pump out of another boat I had laying around, but got a nice little 1,100 gallon per hour bilge pump, put it in the back just in case you ding a rock or get a leak or take water over or something, anything happens like that, flip a bilge pump on and bilge it out, and good to go. So definitely a little safety item there. He got a fire extinguisher mounted, pretty important. You're taking a boat that's normally open and you close an engine in. So, ventilation is key. You want good ventilation. You need a fire extinguisher. All those things are important at this point. All the safety equipment, definitely keep it on there. You don't want to, end up with a fuel leak and, heaven forbid, maybe you have a fire or something happens. And man, it'd be nice to be able to just say, oh, fire extinguisher, let me grab that, put this out, and no big deal, because if you didn't have that, man, you could lose your whole boat or get hurt or hurt somebody. So safety equipment, definitely important. The wiring of everything, basically just everything is fused. You don't, all circuits on a boat are 2-wire, so there's a ground and a positive going to every single item. Your bow light, stern light, bilge pump. The starter's on its separate thing, but it also has power and ground to it. So there's no body grounds on a boat. Even though this is an aluminum boat, maybe technically you could use it as a ground. Everything has a dedicated circuit on it, so that was important to do. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate y'all checking the channel out. If you like this build, give us a like and subscribe. Any questions, comment on there. I'm more than happy to answer any. I know I didn't touch on every little thing. This was a massive build in a matter of basically 3 or 4 days. We had, I think, 42 hours or something like that into it. Man, we were slamming. It was a lot of late nights and getting this stuff done, but we knocked it out pretty quick, and man, it worked out great. Like I said, any questions, hit me in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer any if I can. If I can't, man, I know a bunch of people and I'd probably get you an answer from somebody. Thanks for watching. Thanks, guys.